Welcome to a new Let's Play. This is American Sk8land on DS. I know, it's been a while since I played a DS game. Last time I played a DS game was a fucking Motion. But yes, this is American Sk8land on the DS. He played the GBA version, and it was honestly one of the worst, if not the worst, of the GBA Tony Hawk games. However, this is the first of the DS games. Motion, I believe, was the last, and we already know how shit that was. And this is the main Sk8land, by the way. This is the actual thing. Sk8land on GBA existed, but it was, you know, there. It wasn't really, like, that major a part of the thing. This one is, though. So this is more so what we'll be expecting from this game. Also, the audio is muted because I can't get rid of the music, unfortunately. I can't get rid of the audio going on right now, so I have to mute it because YouTube will otherwise fuck me. Because the DS, that means the audio can actually play the actual music soundtracks from the games. So the actual songs, even though bit crushed in a way, will be played here. And YouTube will notice that, and they will fuck me for it. So I have to just do what I'm doing right now. Anyway, this is all the clothing options we get in the game, by the way. As far as I can tell, there are no options to get more clothing. Different hairstyles, different clothes, what have you, doesn't exist. Everything you see here is everything that you actually get. However, we'll get new tricks. You will get new stuff as we go through the game. It's just this, and I think skateboards, we don't get anything new of. So, just make your character, and then move on from there. Might notice there are a few little glitches here and there. This isn't being played on a legitimate cart, it's being played on an actual DS, being played on the DS I've been using to play Motion, but it's also being played through an R4. It's being played through a flash cart, so yeah. I'm not too sure if the graphical effects happening right now are because of just this bullshit I'm doing right now, or because of the fact that this game just has bugs, and it's just gonna be flashing about and being weird and dumb and shit. I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt and say it's just the flash cart that is the reason why you keep seeing, like, black lines and shit. It doesn't happen, like, in-game. You want to see black lines in-game. It's just here, and I think when we are in the skate shop later on, like, it gets weird. There can even be some lines that will show up sometimes during cutscenes, but otherwise, game is very much running just fine, so there's no issues from there. But yeah, I'm playing this on an actual DS, so no save stating. What you see here is what you get here, so... And really, that's fine. We've gone through Sk8land on GBA. We've gone through American Wasteland already from the Collector's Edition. We've experienced what this game's going to be in for, what it's going to be giving us at least. And this one is going to be a lot more like Wasteland in the way, while still going through a similar sort of storyline that Sk8land on GBA went through. In fact, this should be the actual Sk8land story. So yeah. A lot of the events of American Wasteland will go through here, but this one will be going through differently because it's about the warehouse area and not the ranch. Anyway, not many good options for clothing and what have you, so I'm just choosing, you know, what I think works best for me, and then we'll go straight into the first cutscene of the game where we meet Tony Hawk in a competition.
That was a sick run, kid. You tore this competition apart. Man, the way you ride, you should head out to the West Coast where the skate scene is really going off. You could take things to a whole new level. Hey, me and my crew are heading back to California right now. We got one scene open on the bus. You want to go on a little road trip? Here we are in Hollywood, CA. This is a serious skate town. If you hang with the locals, you'll definitely pick up some new tricks. Listen, I gotta head out to a photo shoot. Hang here and I'll be back to check on you later.
No way! Was that Tony Hawk? You must have some major skills if you're hanging with him. Hi, I'm Mindy, local skate chick. So how about it? Let's see what you got.
Now, because of the comic book art style and everything you're seeing right now, what I like to imagine is that this is actually basically the magazine that Mindy made. So this is her self-insert essentially, but this is her little like story about American Wasteland that she made into the comic. That's what I'm gonna say there. Also, for me to get rid of the music, by the way, I had to not only put the music down to 0, but I had to turn off all of the songs, or else it would just play anyway. It's weird. I don't get it why it's doing that. But yeah, the way the progress works, much like the original GBA games and such, stat points are all by doing certain amounts of stuff, getting a big amount of score, doing a whole bunch of tricks and such, and a numerous amount of times and all. And of course the gaps are here as well. They've returned, thank fuck, so we'll have our fun there as well. Mindy here will be teaching us about Hollywood, which is essentially taking us around the place by green marks on the map and just showing you certain areas like the Hollywood Theater, which is the Chinese Theater, the subway to LA, which is actually where the old warehouse level is now. There is the studio, which doesn't have anything to it. There is the mall area, which will lead us to Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is still here. And, yeah, there's a few areas that have returned from American Wasteland. No Coho's, but I do believe Coho's does get a mention, so there is that going on at least. And, yeah, as you can see, all we gotta do here is follow 15 marks. There's a gap called Ped Crops. It's in every level. There's no point to it, though, if it actually counts as a gap. But yeah, all we're doing right now, to basically start this off, is we want to get our stat points as high as possible so that we can actually be prepared for later on in the game, because it will help out tremendously to get that shit prepared. So right now, we got the theater, you see? Got a few more areas to go through. Obviously, our stats are pretty low, being that they're pretty much empty right now, so we're kind of shit on our manuals, our grinds, our speed and air. Luckily, the game knows this, so for the whole marker thing, it gives us 5 minutes, which, you know, you'll be able to beat in, like, about 2 minutes, if you're not fucking around. Like, a minute, really, if you're not fucking around. But this is a good time as any to basically get yourself prepared. By the way, you might be noticing there are some stuff on the bottom screen there, on the bottom right for you, including like an eye thing there. Oh, by the way, there's the freak out. We'll go into freak out soon. But there are 2 things to note from down below. There we go, I'm freaking out. He just has a bit of a cry. But here's the thing. When you notice, when you get a special going on, get a special bar up, you notice on the bottom right, there are 2 things that show up. One is this green orb, which when you click on it, turns into an eye. And the other thing is a little silhouette picture. The silhouette picture is a special trick we can select at any point from touching the screen. And the eye is our focus. If we want to focus, unfortunately, we have to notice the eye, and we have to click the eye while doing a combo and shit. It's actually a little bit awkward, and yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. But hey, at least focus is here. And another thing is the freak out. As you saw there, when we freak out, we have 3 meters that appear on the bottom screen. You have to press the meters when they're when they're pretty much full, essentially. When all 3 meters are full, that will grow into the main meter, and that will give you your freak out if you got enough freak out going on. So yeah, and we beat Mindy's thing, so now we got some cash, 50 bucks. So far, everyone has 250 bucks. And Mindy here will now be telling us about, you know, showing off our skills, which this is just like showing you, you know, do an ollie, grab these magazines by doing an ollie. It's really basic, just, you know, get that out of the way. You get Grasshopper out doing this too. There are a good amount of gaps here, so, you know, you'll be dealing with that a lot. But yeah, this is mainly the entire mode. You go around, talk to the locals and such, do the goals, and yeah, just don't fuck up. There are a few freaking animations. There's one where he just stomps on his board, essentially. But yeah, what I'm showing you right now, however, is me just taking care of these stat points, because again, if you really, really want to actually get through this game without much pain, much like how he dealt with the GBA games beforehand, use the first level to take care of all of your stat points, and then just go to fucking town from there. Obviously, the way they work is also the same as always. The spin, do like a 720 spin, then just get a big combo. Speed, get a massive combo, about 450,000 points, I think. Grind for like 20 seconds, or what have you. Flip tricks, do about 20 flip tricks. Grab, 15 grabs. Basically all of that shit. Air is grab. But basically all of that shit, 15 seconds of the manual, I believe, will get you your manual. 15 seconds of lit trick with your lit trick, you know. All of that shit, once you know this stuff, you know, it's not gonna be that bad. Really the only thing is just getting used to and knowing the control scheme of the DS version, so you know what the fuck you're doing. But yeah, we're getting our max right now. So next up is the flip tricks I'm dealing with right now. Just getting the ollies out of the way. Just really building upon that. I believe this one is a fuck up, however, because I believe things did not go too well with this run. I mean, I tried. But yeah, this is the ollie. Flip tricks are all for ollie. So yeah, do a large amount of tricks. Be careful about when you're on focus, though, because the game does get kind of weird about focus. For one thing, balancing is a lot more heavy in this game than it was in any other game. And when it comes into the focus, unfortunately, it does not help you out that much, because the focus can actually make you have to be more delayed with your tricks. Like, if you jump and then you think immediately do a trick or whatever, the game will usually not do the trick or what have you. It will just do nothing. You have to, like, be a bit more late with stuff, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, this is the downside of focus mode, that everything feels more delayed than it usually is. Even just transitioning is way more delayed in focus mode than it was any time else with this sort of mode. So yeah, that sucks. But, you know, just work with it, get used to it, and eventually you'll get your max stats, and eventually you'll be fine. Here's the kind of the lit tricks now, which I haven't figured it out yet. Lit tricks are going to be barely any of use, but, you know, get them out to the max, just wait a good bit, and then hit the focus, and then just keep doing this to fill that bar up so you can keep your focus. As you can see, though, doing the transitions is weird and delayed and awkward, and it sucks, and it's just not a good time. Doing my best, though. Keep it going for long enough, and then land it without bailing, and you'll get your lit stats, and you're done. So yeah, this is essentially the entire stat progression thing here, and this one is a lot more fun than the stat progression from beforehand of the other games where the stats are like massive and shit. It's more fun than Fuck 2 stats still. But yeah, this is basically a generic sort of thing with the stats. It's just taken from the GBA games beforehand. In fact, the progression for these stats are almost completely the same as they were in the GBA games with some of them. Like, the exact same amount of flip tricks, amount of time grinding, amount of time, you know, doing spins and shit. So yeah, like, this is basically very cut and dry, basic bitch stat progression right now. Don't be shit at it and you'll be fine. I may end up showing some of these gaps again because, you know, I want to make sure you have a good understanding on how you can easily get these. But right now, just focus on getting score, Not much of anything else. In fact, in this one run, I got my 1 mil, so there you go. 1 mil combo, baby. There you go. And that should be all the stat points now. Yep, we got full max, so we are ready to go. And hey, there's a guy right here we can talk to. It is a photographer, and he will give us our next goal, which just so happens to be a really easy one.
Check it out.
He's a really awkward photographer, as you can tell, but his next thing is reverts, which you can either do by pressing the X button, which is the grind button, or R, which is essentially, you know, how usually the reverts go, by pressing the trigger button. So, I'll press the X button here for revert, which is triangle for us. But yeah, I'm just gonna stick with R from there on, because it feels more natural to just, you know, have X be grind, and then have the revert be the revert button, be R. Here are all the gaps, by the way. A lot of gaps. We dealing with a lot of gaps, honestly, in this game. That's fine. I like dealing with gaps. Anyway,
check it out.
Our next thing is not a spin, which this is why I haven't done the gaps checklist stuff yet until now, because some of these goals require you to do things that will give you gaps, and all of these hydrants will give us gaps. So this first hydrant will give us Momo spin. A few other gaps I'll take care of, like this grind over here, take care of, what was it? No coconuts. But yeah, right next to no coconuts will be the next not a spin hydrant, which will be gap yield gap. The font here is a little shitty, honestly. Limousine grind, there you go, that one. I think I got that one during the run through of the green arrows. Next hydrant is hot soup. And the last one will have our final gap for the hydrants, the non-spin shit. They all count as grind gaps, by the way, I believe. There's subway entrance, grind the entire entrance there. Grind the escalator here that lead into the warehouse. Either way will be fine. But just grind it and you'll get another gap, which should be... Didn't happen, didn't grind correctly, I guess. There we go. Escalator grinds. You have more specials, by the way, than just pressing the button, but you need to do the combination. You don't do the combination. Pressing that button down there on the bottom screen is an easy way to take care of doing a special trick immediately. Just do the combinations, though. It's much easier than distract you. The way around, just grind around that entire little bit there. We don't climb up the spot anymore because, unlike every other game with this shit, in this game, you can't get off your board. You are stuck on your board, which means you have to, you know, do different things to make you do things you have to do off your board. It's big fence, by the way. And this last Nana spin will give us Little Sanchez.
Easy.
And there you go. Now, these guys right now will only give us 2 goals before disappearing completely, so they will always give us about $500 every time.
Check you out.
Nice! It looks like you've gotten better. Those moves are out of control.
Tony Hawk? Oh my gosh! I just have 3 words to say. Unbelievable! Hi, I'm Mindy. Huge fan.
Oh, thanks. Hey, those sketches you're drawing are pretty good. Are those for a magazine or something?
Actually, they're from my own skate comic I'm hoping to get published one day. It's gonna be called American Sk8land. I'm naming it after one of my favorite skate parks.
American Sk8land? I know that place, but I thought it got demolished years ago. It's still around?
It sure is. You wanna check it out?
Definitely. Let's hit it.
It's pretty rundown. But it has a cool vibe.
Well, it should. The place is legendary. It was one of the first skate parks ever. I remember Rodney Mulling doing one of his first kickflips right there. I used to practice new lip tricks right here myself on that quarter pipe. Even the legendary Z-Boys used to shred here.
Wow. I had no idea this old place had so much history.
Yeah, I also used to wipe out right there, and there, and there. Man, it's too bad this place got so trashed. It used to look so sweet.
Well, what if we fixed it up? Got it looking like it did back in the day.
That's a good plan. We can gather up some of this wood and put together a piece for the park right now.
After we build this piece, you and I should start making money and talking to other pros around California. We can turn this place into the killer skate spot it used to be.
Tony's been quite the working man, huh? But yeah, after doing a few goals, we then end up in the warehouse, where for this thing, all we're doing here is essentially buying pieces and putting them into the warehouse so that we can skate them. So there's A, B, or C. As you can see, they are different pieces, but as you can tell, they are pretty much expensive the more you go forward. We can only afford A, however, so I'm going to buy A. You can also buy B, but keep the money. So, there you go. We now have A, and we can use that I there to go into the warehouse and skate in it. This is the only way we can actually skate in the warehouse currently, as the warehouse is still locked. It's just for testing out pieces right now, but eventually we'll be able to actually get into the warehouse itself and skate it properly. But while we're here, there are gaps in the warehouse I can take care of, and I'm going to be taking care of a good bunch of them right now. I don't know what all the gaps are, but I'll be doing my best. There's the bowling gap grind hop, there's the grind hop itself, there is a grind here I can take care of with this for the pyramid rail. There's like a transfer there, doesn't do anything. Mainly all the gaps here are just for the preset stuff that's already here, like over the doors right there. It's not to do with any stuff we're actually buying, I don't think. We'll see. Grind this entire rail downward for the lower hallway grind, by the way, and then you're in this area. There's a lot of areas to look into. There's a channel gap there and such. There's the big spine. Over there will be like a little kicker eventually we can use, a little hump I mean. That hump there we can use to spawn transfer over for another gap. There are like a, you know, 2 rails and like a ledge that we can jump over for another gap. Basically just a lot of stuff, including the mini channel there. But yeah, we will eventually get into properly, you know, going through a whole gap checklist of this place, which I don't think will be very long, considering I'm already taking care of the gaps here. I could just wait instead of going for it right now, but, I mean, I want to. I really want to. I want to explore this place, I want to just check it out, I want to take care of shit right now, and, if I end up actually having gone every gap here right fucking now, I'll laugh. I really doubt, but I will fucking laugh if I'm actually taking care of all the gaps in this recording right now with Warehouse. Also, these are supposed to be exits, but considering the fact that this is just, you know, us buying pieces and putting them down, they're all locked, they don't do anything, so we are stuck here for the time being. And, yeah. I think there might be a manual gap there, honestly. I'm not bothering. But, yeah, there's a grind there. That'll be another gap. And, for the most part, it's a big area. Much than the, warehouse in the fucking, GBA game. Though, it's not as colorful as you might notice. But it's a warehouse. I don't think it should look colorful. The warehouse here is honestly kind of cool, though. It's not like the other warehouse in any other Tony Hawk game. It's its own thing, essentially. And, yeah, I mean, for something you can build upon and all, it's pretty neat. Though it kind of acts like a creative park in a way. It's all set. However, if you can't move these pieces around, so really, this is its own thing. There is no creative park, by the way, but this can count as a creative park if you want it to. Another exit that we can't go into. I'm going to jump cut and take care of some more gaps, which are mainly going to do with up top here. There are some like this grind here for the center beam. I'm going to land that real quickly after, you know, going around all of this shit. Then afterwards, jumping across from these rails here will give us the I-beam hop. Next up will be over in here in the middle area, I believe. You grind around here, and you transfer it around, like so. Well, actually, I'm just grinding around right now. But if you jump over this middle beam here and grind, you will get overtake 2. You get it from either ends. And then if you use those same grinds to jump across instead of, you know, any other way, like for instance, like this, you'll get over the center. And I believe this next one should be it. Yep. So there you go. That's all the gaps I could find right now. That's fine. We'll be taking care of more of the warehouse than we actually can go into the warehouse normally. But right now, we can leave, and with that out of the way, we're back here in Hollywood, and I'm essentially going to be taking care of all the gaps now, because, I mean, why not? There are goals here, but eventually be taken over to Beverly Hills, so must take care of the gaps right now, and then we'll about the goals later. First one, man, across the red carpet for red carpet, like so. And afterwards, you want to go ahead and grind across these rails here. Be a bit slow to make sure so life is good. A bit awkward, but there you go. Next, grind across this entire rail left around the booth, and grind these two rails here, big rails a little. And afterwards, you want to take care of, basically grind around this entire rail here, all the way around the circle for top rail. Afterwards, you want to go ahead and get up top to this side of the top floor of the, building here, and jump off any kicker here all the way through for the leap of faith, and then land it. Next up, you want to go ahead and grind this billboard here for the billboard grind. Afterwards, you want to go ahead and then make a specific left turn grind like so for Raza Plaza. Bit awkward, there you go. Then grind the wall behind the billboard in order to get the back fence. Afterwards, you want to go ahead and take care of grinding this entire spot here. I accidentally jumped right over the spot here for another gap. But there's sign grind, just grind that entire sign area for that one. To actually get this one, however, just a bit more earlier than that. And you will get China Big, and then jump down to the street for Street Chop. Afterwards, grind this middle bar here from the pool up top the roof, all the way through for Wire Walk. Jump off this ramp, and then grind this spot here for Mad Cow. That was great, huh? And then do sometimes over there for Tiny Pants, and then grind this entire thing there for the big wire and little wire, and small wire. Seriously though, that's a weird fucking gap. The Mad Cow one is just weird. Anyway, there's the tricks over here. Let's check these ramps here for upper lip and lower lip. There you go. Afterwards, you want to go ahead and just do a transfer over here for so-and-so. And then do the transfer over on this spot for you to get the archway. Afterwards, do a spawn transfer into the pool up top of this rooftop here from there for Spawnerific. And then spawn transfer out from the other side for a Spawnorama. Then go back and go do a little transfer down here for low-high. And then grind this rail here up to the stairs for the blue stairs. And then grind the rooftop itself all the way through, like so, for Blue's roof. And then just get up to these ramps that were up here behind the billboard there, up that rail over there, grind the entire water tower, and you'll get the Blue's tower. Afterwards, we're going to be going ahead and just grind up top from here, from where the limo was, and then just jumping across this wall there, but no coconuts that way. Might be the same gap, honestly, I don't know. And then grind from there all the way across to this spot from where the warehouse entrance is for Big Ledge. Afterwards, just grind this entire area there for a shelter. And then do an awkward little transfer there for China Air. Don't jump for it, just do that. And then grind this rooftop there for China Roof. And then go back and electric it for Hot and Cold, I believe it was. Hot and Sour. There you go. And there's this guy over here.
Let's do this.
Skate Punk here will be talking about, you do a fucking manual, bitch. I bet you can't do that. I placed some signs here that says manual for some reason. This will get another gap, by the way. So just do this goal and you'll get another gap, which is called Shop Shop.
That was sick, yo.
There you go. There's another gap with this Skate Punk here, and it requires doing a grind. I'm going to go over to him again and take care of it. It should just be a corner grind. That should be the name of the gap. So, yeah. Just ride that rail, and that's it. Now, the game says to do a no-comply up to it. It's not that big. You can jump up there normally and grind it.
That was
So, yeah, corner
sick,
rail.
yo.
And with that out of the way, that's enough $500 for us, and that guy just disappears out of the fucking existence, like that. Okay, next up, this guy.
What a sunny day.
He is apparently French, and he is a waiter. He came to star in films, but he's just a waiter right now. He used to skate back in his hometown in the city of Cohost. There it is! There's the Cohost mention! There's no co-host in this game, by the way. Co-host not appear in this game. So that sucks. But hey, it got mentioned. Anyway, this guy will be showing you about kickflips and heel flips. Just do them how they're shown, and there you go. And go back to him and be all about grab tricks, which is nose grabs and tail grabs. And it's not $100 for us. All the goals right now are super easy and simple.
Bonjour.
So,
What a sunny day.
yeah, they'll be very easy to take care of and gain your money out of it. It's all tutorial shit right now, so you should be fine. So yeah, nose grabs and tail grabs. Let's go. So it's the B button for that, and the Y button is flip.
Superb.
Superb. And there you go. So now it's time for us to take care of some more shit.
We talking for a second.
But first, just do something over there for pool party. It's a bit awkward because you don't register that well, but just keep doing it until eventually it registers. Then afterwards, you know, run up there for that small water, then jump into that billboard over there and run the serious billboard for Laz and Kaz, which I believe are actual people that used to be on the radio. Run this escalator there for fancy escalators that leads you into Beverly Hills. Grind these red wires here for China Gap. And then get up top of this building over there where the dinosaur is. And, you know, go up the dino head, jump right over the head, and you will get the sledgehammer jump. And that's it. That is all of the gaps of Hollywood. All simple gaps, really. No lines, luckily. And, yeah, it's pretty much a big one, but it's a basic one. That's a lot of gaps, though.
Hey, we talking for a
Alright.
second. Alright, show me something.
Now it's time for Skater here. He'll talk about spine transfers, which we'll be transferring over on how we got the fucking pool party gap. So, yeah. All spine transfer R is the R button only. I've been constantly pressing L and R, but all you have to do is just press R and that's it. He's excited about that. But yeah, there you go. Easy fucking trick there. Just press R and there you go, spine transfer. His next thing will be wall riding, which is also easy because it's the grind button. It is X.
Alright,
so,
show me something.
yeah. So yeah, all about wall riding. Just, you can complete this in like 1 second essentially. I'm not kidding. Watch me.
Whoa, dude!
Okay, it was 2 seconds, but still, super quick, super easy. I make him
Dude,
stay
watch
here a bit
it.
longer by knocking into him. But yeah. By the way, if you want to freak out but you don't want to bail, just stop where you are and you get that prompt. Press L and you get a freak out. Now, unlike normal freak out, if you do it this way, instead of, you know, getting an animation out of it, you will boost immediately and have a red line behind you, as well as get special immediately. So,
Come see what I've got to show me something interesting.
yeah, so that's a very interesting way of taking care of getting a freak out going and getting your meter up immediately. Anyway, Movie Star here is all about doing sketches on cars. Now, the game says that we recognize her, apparently. We don't. And it also didn't spell it right. This sounds familiar. Are you? Nah. It's a comma, so it's all one sentence. It's a bit weird. Also, sketching is a bit weird as well. And it's just this cop car here, which is very slow and just goes around the same spot. And that just happened. I just saw it, like, jump in. Whatever. Sketch it,
Really
land it,
great.
and there you go. So, yeah. Got $50 out of that. We get a lot of money out of just doing basic shit. I wish this was real.
Show me something interesting.
So now to take care of tagging. Now you usually have to get off your border tag, but in this game all we gotta do is do what we did for the freak out. Just stop where we are, where the X is, and then press A, which is, I believe, the grab button. So yeah, just press the grab button when you're near the tag spot. Have to be a good distance to it. And there you go. Our default is like a cup of coffee or whatever, a cup of soup, like a bowl of soup or whatever. I don't fucking know. But yeah,
For a second.
just tag that shit and get all 4 of them, and that's it. right now it is 100% going in the same sort of progression route as Fug 2. You're very much noticing it, aren't you? It's the same sort of tag shit of 4 tags. The same sort of shit right now where you're seeing the signs of the sticker slap. Same sort of shit where it's all basic stuff, essentially. It is very much going in the same goal progression right now as Fug 2 did. Let us hope there is more to this than that, though. Let us hope there is a bit more to these goals than,
Yo, that was really great.
oh, get a score. Oh, do a thing. Get a gap. Oh, tag this. Sticker slap that. I hope it's more than that. Anyway, we got enough so we can now go and see Paul Rodriguez, who is now here. He has a special icon to himself, but first, Sandwich Board Man. He doesn't look anything like he does on that little illustration there, but he does not like skaters much. However, there's a wall plant he likes. He likes doing wall plants, essentially. And he wants me to go up to all of those no skating signs, and there are the no skating signs, and wall plant all of them. So yeah, this is legitimately the same fucking shit as what we did in Fug 2. Maybe Fug 1 as well. So yeah, a bit weird how all of this very obvious and recognizable stuff from the other GBA games is shown up in the DS game. But hey, I mean, I guess it's easing us in by having us do, like, easily recognizable stuff that's not that hard to deal. So, you know, just go around, find the shit, and deal with it. But you might notice in the warehouse, there were also tag spots and also no skating signs there. So, unfortunately, there will be a lot of that goal showing up. We gotta deal with it. But there you go. We took care of all the wall plants, and from doing that, we got money. Now, this next one is this guy over here.
Hey, this way! Take a
What?
look at what I got for you!
Hang on. Punk guy will be telling us about combos, but did I just seriously hear the fucking theme tune for the closing credits of Jimmy Neutron with the fucking monkey going, "Hi, I'm Paul."
Hey, you're
Like,
crazy.
what the fuck? Did he just quickly say, hey, I'm crazy?
Take a look at what I got for you!
He screams it out, that's for sure. But, yeah. Flatland now. Y, X, or A. Very simple stuff. But yeah. All we gotta do is do the tricks that show up for Flatland, and we're good to go. Which I'm doing it wrong. But there you go. That is the fucking... Oh my god. I can't even remember Junior Neutron from this fucking Let's Play right now. My god.
Hey, you're crazy!
Oh, you're crazy. And he cuts off. He just gets cuts off, like, right fucking there. It's so weird. Anyway, there's the icon there for the pro, Paul Rodriguez. He has, like, a fucking line across his body and a hat. Like a red hat. So that's interesting.
Hey, pay attention.
Pay attention. Now we have to freak out. If you do the freak out thing by standing on the thing, it will not count. And if you just bail normally and freak out, it doesn't count either. You have to be doing a combo, a decent one, like so, or a basic one really, and then bail. And then fill it out, and there you go, freaked out. Here's tight. Bang my fucking chest in anger, like a fucking monkey, and there you go, got me some money. And now, Paul Rodriguez is here. We've done all the goals here except for the pro goal, which as you can see, is literally called the pro goal. We can jump to any of these goals, by the way, pressing the A button if they're unlocked. But I'm just gonna go up to him instead, like so.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm just coming here to talk to you, Paul. That's what I'm doing. And Paul here is going to be teaching us all about doing special tricks. So, basically just showing us, hey, there are icons on the bottom of the screen. Maybe press one of them and it will do something. You might have also noticed that on the bottom of the screen when we stop, there is also an eye in the middle. We can control the camera by essentially touching the bottom of the screen when we're just stopped on the ground like that and move around and look around. It's a little awkward though, so I never really do it because it's just kind of shit and janky. But it exists in case you want to look around with the camera of this game. As you can see, me doing the bum touch special there, I don't like doing because it really is just really out of the way, not fun to deal with, and yeah, I just don't like it. I'd rather just do a combination and get a special out of that rather than touching the screen. And there you go.
Oh yeah.
That's quite an oh yeah. He has a lot of fucking text, by the way, my god, and $1,000 for that. And it takes us right out of here to warehouse. Because now we can put up another piece. So let's touch the hook icon there and start putting the piece up. This is, I believe, the bottom floor, so we're just putting in either of these pieces, A, B, or C. They're all kind of the same prices. I'm gonna go ahead and just put in, should I put in the most expensive? No, I'll put in A. I'll go cheap for every single one of these. Also, the touchpad is a bit glitchy for me. Just letting you know that. The touch is kind of awkward for me. But yeah. That's the spot. No gets from it. There you go. And once we leave this area, we are going to go straight, not to Hollywood, but going straight to Beverly Hills. And this part is nearly over now. It's about over 40 minutes. So let's just go forward and see the cutscene that comes next.
Yo, that piece you added to the warehouse with Paul's help should make a killer line. I just heard that another pro, Mike V, is in downtown LA. I'm gonna go try to find him and tell him what we've got going on. You guys rip it up here in Beverly Hills and keep an eye out for Daewon's song. You can usually find him around here. Two things he loves, skateboarding and playing practical jokes on stuffy Beverly Hills snobs.
That's classic. After we hook up with Daewon, we'll hop on a bus and meet you downtown. Later, Tony. Let's roll.
And hey, we're now in fucking Beverly Hills, which we'll be doing next time. But before we end it, let's go over to that skate shop, shall we? Because that is an option that is here, and we might as well go ahead and check it out. So in the skate shop, this is basically the shop. And in the shop, there are a few things we can do. We can view a cutscene, go to the scoreboard and see all the scores and shit, and all the longest combos and all. View our stats, view replays that we save, change our outfit, which is the same outfit no matter what. Change the specials that we can do from pressing the touch button, essentially on the bottom right. Which, as you can see, complete more story goals and you will unlock more touch specials. So, we'll eventually get more specials as we go on. But right now, I'm just showing off about all of these tricks right now to you. Just show them off right now. And, yeah, eventually then we'll just go ahead and take care of, you know, looking for the actual specials that we have, which we can have a look and, you know, select as many as we want and all. And then I'm going to be showing off the graffiti editor and the board editor. Because that was a thing that was in the GBA game. It sucked in the GBA game because we had to control it with a D-pad and such. And that was just shit. That's why I never really did it. However, that is not the case for a DS, because for the DS, you have a stylus, you have a touchscreen, you can draw on the fucking thing, you can even have custom sounds for victory and for bailing, which I may go forward and put my own custom sounds into the game. Just saying. But right now, yeah, there you go. And now it's time for the editors. Graffiti editor. These are all the same editor, by the way. It's just one's graffiti, which is like a piece of wall. The other one's a deck. And these are all the defaults, by the way. You'll see on the bottom right. But I'm going to make my own, and I'm going to make my own based on an icon that I ended up making myself because I made a character. And he is now just synonymous with this channel and such as just my mascot, essentially. There are two pages we can choose from, you know, just in case. We can have like a little scribble drawer there. We can have a thicker drawer. We can have this sort of marker drawer, which this side's a bit awkward, a bit more, you know, aligned, but this one's a lot more fatter. We can spray paint, you know, like a fucking paint tool. We can put on lines. And we can also put in squares, like so. A lot of sound effects. We also fill up the entire spot. We can also, you know, take any colors we want from the board, which is be nothing, because this background does not count as any color. We can remove shit from the bottom, and we can undo by pressing the arrow there. And there's all the colors. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw my graffiti right now. There you go. And with that out of the way, now we'll go ahead and just leave, because that's my graffiti for the rest of the game. And there's the board editor, which, as you can see, a blank board, but here are all the defaults, which like the skate logo there. We have a snake. Let me show off the board from it as well, because the board kind of cuts shit out. Like, this isn't going to be, like, completely fitted in. You can notice it right now, in fact. It's kind of cutting out. But, yeah. Here are all of the arts. And now I'm going to go ahead and just make my own arts. Make my own epic skateboard that I'll be using through the game. Also, if you draw normally, but if you press that button up there, it creates an outline, a thick one. So there you go. That's all the tools. Okay, jump cut. Here's my board. Really cool board. It's my board. And I'm using this board for the rest of the game. And if you disagree with that, fuck you. That's all I gotta say. Fuck you if you don't like this board. You're a bitch, and you have no respect for me if you dislike this face. Anyway, change deck. This is where all the skateboards are. There's my custom board. You can make 2 of them if you want. There's the birdhouse boards, there's the element boards, there's the, basically a lot of the boards from the actual game. But they're a lot more pixelated. You know, they're not that good. But yeah, here are all the boards. And I'm not choosing any of them, because one, they kind of look a bit like shit because of all the pixelization and such. And 2, I just made my own custom board. Why would I just leave my custom board away from me when I just made it? And I made it look so beautiful. I'm keeping with this board, thank you very much. And that's going to do it for this part. So next time in American Sk8land, we're going to Beverly Hills, not in this weird effect you're seeing right now. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.